Let me take you guys on a trip down memory lane. It's 2003, 2004ish, maybe a bit later. You get up and you put your game in the PS2, you pick up your wire controller and get back as far as you can, and then you hear this. The memory card is plugged in, friends are probably over, life is good. Oh, and then a few seconds later, you hear this. If that even gave you the slightest bit of nostalgia, that means two things. One, you grew up with a PlayStation 2, in my opinion the greatest console ever, so congratulations, your childhood was awesome. Second, you also grew up playing one of the greatest wrestling games of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Smackdown, here comes the pain. In 2002, Smackdown Shut Your Mouth came out, and it was an amazing game without a doubt. The graphics and animations were a huge upgrade from the previous WWE games. Various locations and arenas, the season mode was the best ever, and so much more. It was everything that fans wanted in a PlayStation 2 wrestling game. After a disappointing jump from the PlayStation 1 to the PS2 with Just Bring It, Shut Your Mouth was great. Now, what if I told you all these things that I mentioned, the graphics, animations, locations, season mode, and the roster, somehow got even better? Here Comes the Pain is arguably the most complete and perfect wrestling game of all time. So let's go back to 2003, get your tissues ready cause you're about to get mad nostalgic, and let's take a look at what made Smackdown Here Comes the Pain so legendary. Oh, and also before we start, if you use Goldberg or Brock Lesnar when playing against friends in this game, I fucking hate you. You're a horrible person. Anyway, on to today's feature presentation. In my Shut Your Mouth video, I talked about how the WWE in 2002 was replicated perfectly in the video game Shut Your Mouth, and this does the same thing with 2003. All the stages are there and the arenas look great, but the graphics upgrade was just really well done. This game just looks so nice. The character models are so well done, minus Triple H, he is fucking terrifying. But just look at this. This is a PlayStation 2 game that came out in 2003. Look how good this looks. The arena, the stage, the lighting, the entrances, and the character models, just so well done and polished, especially for that time. For a lot of people, 2003 WWE brings them back to a time where they were deeply in love with the product. And this game just reflects that year perfectly. All the stages are there, all the entrances are updated, character models are upgraded, it just looks so good. Shut Your Mouth looked good as well, but this improvement was just insane. To this day, it still holds up. Let's talk about the roster. Shut Your Mouth had a great roster, while Here Comes the Pain had an even better roster. So all the key players from 2003 are there. Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Austin, Triple H, Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, Kurt Angle, I could go on, but just take a look at the character selection screen. Everybody who you would possibly want to play with in 2003 is there. New additions such as Goldberg, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Batista, and this game also brought in legends. Now, these aren't the same legends you would expect today because, to be honest, most of the legends we get these days were in the active roster anyway, but you get legends such as a Deadman Undertaker from the 90s, Roddy Piper, Hillbilly Jim, and George the Animal Steele to name a few. Now, I don't know exactly who sat there using Hillbilly Jim, but it was cool nonetheless. The roster is stacked. One wrestler that's missing though that actually hurts is Jeff Hardy. He was in the trailer and he looked so awesome. His model was great. Sadly though, he wasn't in the game. But the good thing is, Create a Wrestler mode is so well done here. It was once again the best up to that point. Every year the games got better and better with their Create a Wrestler. So here, even though Jeff Hardy and Hulk Hogan aren't in the game, you could easily make them using some good old COD formulas. Remember those? And they will actually look legit. Look how legit this Hogan COD looks. Best part is though, all the moves are there as well. So your Hogan created wrestler would actually wrestle like Hulk Hogan. Just look at this. Moving on to the animations and the movesets, that's one thing that makes this game so good to this day. Every wrestler just wrestles like and feels like the wrestler. Most of the superstars have these new animation and moves that make them feel so authentic. What do I mean by that? Well, okay, you saw that Hogan example, right? Look at The Rock when he does a Samoan drop and starts clapping, just like how he used to do in 2003, or when he does a DDT and does a kip up. Or Ric Flair just being the dirtiest player in the game, and then Booker T hitting the scissors kick and then just doing the spin-a-rooney, or Goldberg just no-selling. It's so awesome. So remember how I said create a wrestler is really good? The other cool thing they have is create an animation. So this makes even your created wrestlers look more authentic and feel like they're a part of the game. So just like how Rey Mysterio has those special animations, your created wrestler could do that as well. As a result, everything in this game just feels so authentic. The wrestlers move and act like how they would in real life. In my Shut Your Mouth video, I added how devastating the moves look. Well, now they look even better. Everything looks so bone crunching. When Goldberg hits that spear, it gets you amped up like it was the most deadly spear you've seen in your life. The impact from the moves are just great. Even moves like the 619 just look so deadly. I love the way the ring shakes and the impact just makes you feel like, wow, that actually probably hurt. And the screen effect when you hit the finisher is just great as well. So Shut Your Mouth did it well, but Here Comes the Pain did it even better, and that's the story here. They took an already amazing wrestling game and just perfected it. So the wrestlers have unique moves and their characters feel authentic, but they also have such a wide variety of moves. They changed the grapple system to where every wrestler had 16 base grapple moves. That's a lot of moves, man, especially coming from Shut Your Mouth. So every match felt different, and every match you had to wrestle different as well. You wouldn't wrestle the same way you did with Brock Lesnar with Rey Mysterio. The Here Comes the Pain engine is just fun. It's pretty fast paced, and after going from 2K19 back to Here Comes the Pain, I was like, whoa, this is fast. But personally, I love it. I love this style. Sometimes I'll be playing this and I'll be having some next crazy insane 5-star match. I'll look at the timer in the bottom right corner and the timer would say 5 minutes. It would feel like I had been playing for like 30 minutes having this classic match, but it only had been 5 minutes. And that's not a bad thing. In my opinion, it was just non-stop fun. There was no downtime. The matches flow well, and even though it is fast paced, it's a nice balance of realism and arcade in my opinion. Simulation style is not bad, I enjoy that too, but sometimes you just want to sit back and have fun and play the game, because at the end of the day, that's what it is, it's a video game, and I love this game. So the roster is great, and the gameplay is fast and fun, and the wrestlers feel like the wrestlers, they act like the wrestlers, and they do the moves like the wrestlers. The moves are bone crunching and they have insane impact. It looks like they actually hurt. It looks like the moves did damage, and hitting a finisher feels important. It feels like an event. This is one of those games where you can simply have a singles match and have the time of your life, but then you add in ladder matches, table matches, Hell in a Cell matches, and it just gets even more fun. And the game also had the brand new Elimination Chamber match, and this was a great addition. The Elimination Chamber was just fun. Me and my friends would have classics, just jumping off pods and cages, breaking glass, just killing each other. And that's where I had the most fun in this game back when I was a kid, and even now, just killing each other. Whether it's killing my friends or the CPU, it doesn't matter. The amount of destruction you could do was insane. So the moves already looked deadly and devastating as they were, but then you add tables, ladders, a Hell in a Cell, the fun is endless. And then you add in stuff like going backstage and you can fight there, you can break walls, shout out Chris Jericho, run on treadmills. Shut Your Mouth had great backstage areas, and it returned here, just allowing much more freedom and stuff to do, which is never a bad thing. It was just fun fighting backstage. There was even a mini Hell in a Cell backstage that you can fight in. Everything was so interactive, and that's what I love about it. Everything had a purpose. You can interact with everything. You want to drive Undertaker's motorcycle backstage and drag a wrestler like how Taker did to Hogan? Well, do it up. You want to drive a forklift? Well, just do it. It was insane. But at the end of the day, it's a video game, so why not? It's all about fun, right? Fight outside the arena and end up in Times Square and jump off a helicopter. Yes, I just said jump off a helicopter when talking about a wrestling game. It was insane and outrageous, but it was fun. Why not? It's a video game. So just like Shut Your Mouth, they took the backstage areas and improved them even more. They made them more interactable and even more insane, which I didn't think was possible. You could do whatever you wanted to do, because why not? This game emphasizes fun, and trust me, I don't care how old you are, even if you never played this game, if you picked it up and played it now, you'll still have fun all these years later. And then you have everyone's favorite season mode. The season mode was basically a sequel to Shut Your Mouth, but this time you got a little bit more personal storylines and a lot more original content, whereas Shut Your Mouth was based off real life storylines mostly. But don't worry, you still get some crazy, wild, insane storylines here, but to balance it out, you also get some bloody, personal, serious feuds as well. The season mode, what can I say? It was great. In my life, I've probably played this over 10 times. That just shows you the replayability. It's just fun taking a random ass wrestler like Charlie Haas or something and just making him into the GOAT. So Raw and SmackDown both have different storylines, and what was great about this was also before you start the season you can actually choose who the champions were, which affected the season as well, and also who the good guys were and the bad guys, which also actually mattered in your season mode. The storylines were just fun. You can have your own faction, you can fight against Vince McMahon's faction, or you can even join his faction. Your decisions actually mattered and they led you into storylines. So for example, if Jim Ross approached you before a show in Oklahoma, his hometown, he'll start talking about his hometown, and if you respond positively, it will put you in a storyline where Vince McMahon assaults JR after your match, leading you to feud with him to defend JR's honor. There's even a storyline where you become the chairman of the WWE for a month and Vince drives you around. You can get arrested, you can recreate the Kurt Angle milk truck angle. There are legit countless storylines in here. That's why I played this so many times growing up and never got bored. In the comments, by the way, share your favorite storylines that you came across when playing this. The developers just put so much effort into the season mode. I commend them for it. Season mode is just a great must-play experience. And yes, if you keep playing it, you will find yourself in repeating storylines, but what can you do? At least the storylines are fun and it's always worth it to when you finally branch out to a totally new storyline. Back to some gameplay things, I also love how they did blood in this game. So blood wasn't in Shut Your Mouth, but they brought it back here. And now in this game, when you make somebody bleed, similar to how I said hitting a finisher was an event, well, so was making someone bleed. It just looks so epic, and then the way it splatters when you hit them again is amazingly violent. That's the thing, yo, it's the little things in this game that added up to make it so fun. It's the animations of the wrestlers, the way they move, the moves they do, the impact of the moves, the finishers, the blood, the beautiful arenas, the great entrances, and then you add in the updated graphics and the ability to create whatever you want. It's just awesome. So what makes this game so legendary is just so complete. It's insane that this game came out in 2003, but at the same time this was also a time when games came out and they were complete. There weren't DLC or day one patches back then. And most importantly, just like Shut Your Mouth and No Mercy before this game was just fun. It emphasizes fun. It's outrageous at times, it's insane, but at the end of the day, it was fun. There are few games that gave me as much enjoyment growing up as this game. To be honest, it's just really this game and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Those two games were my childhood, and both games were just wacky and outrageous, but they could be serious at times, but they were pretty insane. But at the end of the day, they were just fun, and they emphasized fun. This game, man, this was just my childhood. I had a lot of fun playing other wrestling games growing up. I loved Smackdown vs. Raw 06 and 07. I loved WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy. But this game just has a piece of my heart, man, and I will always love this game. To me, this will always be the GOAT. Is it possibly nostalgia that's blinding me? No, because this game is just fun. To this day, if you never played this game before, if you buy this or emulate it or whatever, you'll still have fun playing this. If you don't believe me, just try it. This is, in my opinion, the greatest wrestling game of all time. I'm not going to fight you if you say No Mercy's better or if Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 is your cup of tea, but for me, and I'm sure for a lot of people who are my age or my generation or a little bit older, this is it. This is our baby. This is our love. This is our childhood. So thank you guys for watching this and letting me talk about a game that means so much to me, a game that gave me so much enjoyment growing up. It means a lot. Thank you guys for watching all the videos. Thank you guys for liking and commenting and disliking and everything. And stay tuned for more content coming soon.